Alright, so we're still in section 2.2. In this video, we're going to be showing how to solve a rational equation. So by now, hopefully, it's clicked that all the stuff we were doing before, simplifying rational expressions, factoring, all this kind of stuff, we were kind of doing it in a bubble, and so now we're just doing it in the context of an equation where we're kind of solving for a variable, right? So let's throw out an example here. Okay. And so the goal is the same here, right? We're just trying to get x by itself. So what's really the difference? Well, here the difference is x is on the bottom. So well, how can we get it to the top? Well, we can do that by multiplying by the LCD, the lowest common denominator. And when we look at fractions, it's pretty obvious. We can just look at the fractions, look at their multiplicative counterparts, and see which each part is missing. So, well, what is this denominator made up of? Well, that's just 3 times 1. What is this one made up of? 3 times x. And what is this one made up of? 2 times x. So how many unique multiplicative components do we have? Well, we have a 2. Okay, we have an x and a 3. And that's all the unique numbers, all the unique components that we have. Right? There's nothing different aside from 2x and 3 in any of these. So actually, our LCD is going to be 2 times 3 times x, or 6x. And so if we multiply 6x across the entire equation on the left side and the right side, we can kind of get rid of the fractions. So let's go ahead and do that. So on this side, we're going to multiply by 6x. And if we do it to one side, we have to do it to the other, right? And so remember that this is, the 6x is essentially 2 times 3 times x. So let's just write it that way. And so here, this 2, right, and this x are going to cancel with this 2 and this x, because remember that we have to distribute this to both of them. And so really all we're going to get in the first term is a 3 times a 7, which is 21. The denominator is gone, right? It's essentially just 1, and we don't need to write fractions if the denominator is 1. And in that same case, we have the 2, the 3, and the x. Which ones are going to cancel here? Well, the x and the 3 are going to cancel with this x and the 3, and so the 2 is going to be the one that's left over. And then 2 times 5 is 10, right? And likewise on this right-hand side, we have a 3 on the bottom and a 3 on the top, so these will cancel, and so the top is going to be 22 times 2 times x, which is 44x. And so now we can simplify 21 minus 10, that's 11. On the right hand side we have 44x. We want to get x by itself, so we divide by 44, right? Because 44 is being multiplied to x. Okay, and so 11 over 44 is equal to x. Can we simplify this? Yes, we can. 11 is 11 times 1. 44 is 11 times 4. Cancel the 11s. And that tells us x is equal to 1/4. And so if we wanted to check it, right, we can plug it back in. So we have 7 over 2 times 1/4 minus 5 times over 3 times 1/4 is equal to 22/3. So let's see if this is true. So we have 7 over 2/4 minus 5 over 3/4 is equal to 22 over 3. And this is checking our work here. And so 7 divided by 1/2 minus 5 divided by 3/4 is equal to 22 over 3. Remember, dividing by a fraction is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal, so 7 times 2 instead of 7 divided by 1/2, and 5 times 4/3 instead of dividing by 3/4. Is that equal to 22/3? Well, we're about to find out. This is 14. What is this going to be? It's going to be 20/3. Okay, so well, 14 is just, as a fraction, it's 14/1. We need a denominator of 3, so we need to multiply this by 3, multiply this by 3. 14 times 3 is 42/3 minus 20/3. Yep. What is that going to give us? Well, it's going to give us 22/3. And that's equal to 22/3. So it checks out and we're all happy. Cool. So we'll stop the video there and get to lines in the next one.